Yep. I'm sorry. I had not selected YouTube. I selected the coffee page on Facebook, which didn't work. So sorry about that. I hit the wrong damn thing. So we're on now on YouTube for anybody that wants to get in there. Yeah, Elena was the storm that never got here. People forget sometimes that we never got Elena. Elena parked off the coast of Pasco County for a day or so and wandered around out there. I got a commendation from Pasco County for my broadcast radio work during that storm. That storm, the radio station WGUL was right on US 19 at Avery, and the river is behind us and the Gulf was in front of us, and we stayed the whole weekend, and we were pretty sure we were going to have to swim for it. If Elena had come ashore, we would have been screwed. We'd have had to probably swim for our lives from that building. But we stayed. We stuck it out, and when the weather cleared, every mom and grandma in Pasco County brought us an apple pie or a meal. So that was we were heroes for a while there. That was me and Dan Henry and Tim Atkins and I think Denny Bateman, who spent a lot of years up at Hits 106 in Hudson since then. So yeah, welcome to the hurricane zone. And I can show you out my window, but actually, Corey could probably do that better than I could. But yeah, it's we're not going to get white balance there. It's been squally. We had a squall line come through last night late. That surprised everybody a bit, but that was outflow moisture. So yeah, so that's what we're looking like as far as the radar image goes. And if you want to see what the track looks like, that's the projected path, and we're right below the S here. So it's going to come in just basically right on top of us. Fun, good times. Corey's having a really great conversation down there with Donna right now. Yeah, Darla, in Levy County, last night they were saying the storm looked like it might come ashore and then hover. This morning they're not calling for that. It's going to pass over you guys pretty quickly and shoot out into the Atlantic. So that's good. Yeah. Gosh, Virginia, that makes me feel really old, so thanks for that. I lived off Fox Hollow Drive during that storm. I was also like 4. Yeah, I was a grown-ass adult working in radio broadcasting already by then. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Zoe's saying my friends were catching fish that were crossing the road in Sunset Park in Tarpon and with their hands and throwing them in the back of their trucks. Yep, good times. I'm commenting over here on YouTube because Zuckerberg doesn't like me for 24 hours. Yeah, Dave took a ban, probably for, I don't know. Sue Fletcher Gentry says, Corey, come pick up the Star Trek tapes. Thumbs up. There you go.
Sorry, guys. My dear friend who used to book me for 18 million shows is out, and so I'm chatting her up because we haven't talked in like a billion years. But I'll be back. You guys talk about yourselves.
What's that, Fred? Teach me about the colors. Is the red the worst part and the green less threatening? I don't know. On the map there, is that, or were you talking about on the radar image? Yeah, I'm not sure what Fred's asking me about there. But we are under a tropical storm warning and a hurricane watch. And that means we can expect tropical storm force winds within the next 48 hours. It'll happen this afternoon. We'll get winds well over 50 miles an hour this afternoon and this evening. If it continues to be a hurricane, we could get 75 mile an hour winds. And that's not a gust of wind. That's a sustained 70, 75 mile an hour wind. I don't think it'll be quite that strong. But the big on the radar image, yeah, the darker reds and oranges are the heavier rainfall. That's the most reflectivity on radar. The real problem for us here is storm surge. That's the water that is pushed forward by the storm. It pushes a wall of water in front of it. We are a very shallow part of the coastline, and we're pretty vulnerable to storm surge. So they're calling for 3 to 5 feet of storm surge where we are. And unfortunately, that's going to happen in conjunction with the high tide tonight. So our real worry is, in our county, in Pasco County, Florida, there are only 3 outlets to the Gulf of Mexico from the inner part of our county. And one of those is 300 yards from my door. What happens is if there's extremely heavy rainfall inland, all that rain runs down into these 3 stream outlets, Bear Creek, Cody River, and the Anklet River, because I know you know where those are. And if there's a storm surge and wind pushing that water back in, then that water can't run out into the Gulf, and it sort of stacks up in the inside waterways, and then you get a lot of flooding in people's houses. So that's our big fear here. And where we live, the street between us and safety floods pretty much every time we have a big storm like this. So my concern is Laugh Track has some mobility issues. She has some knee and ankle problems, and we don't want to be here past the point where we could decide to drive out. So we're going to move our cars this afternoon. We'll probably spend the night over at Mishi's house a little further inland with Mishi and the other Donna, which will be very confusing to have all those Donnas in one house. So, yeah, you're right, Corey. That's also because our dumbass county commissioner is not planning for this over the last 100 years. We live in a county that has a black ledger book. In other words, we don't have any debt, and they've managed to save us a lot of money, but they're going to cost us maybe a lot of homes because they haven't really addressed our flooding issues here. That's the thing. And we're in a county that doesn't at all think about global warming and climate change, water table rise. 2 towns south of Tarpon Springs, they're already talking about how to mitigate for global warming and sea level rise. But here in Pasco County, everything's great. We'll just build more stuff inland. Don't worry about those people out on the coast who've been there for 50, 60 years. It's all good. There she is. Hey, Donna got wet.
I had to say hello to Corey.
I know. So yeah, Donna's back in. She obviously it's raining out. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate that, Dave. If Mishi's gets too crowded, I got room at my place. Yep, we'll be good. We got plenty of room. So anyway, that's the update. We're gonna have a hurricane. Again, it's a small storm and it's raggedy, so I'm not sure if this means we're going to have hurricane conditions at my house, but we're definitely in the path, and we'll be inside the zone where we'll get somewhere between 40 and 80 mile an hour winds later today.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're in the spot. Well, you guys are even worse in the spot where the bands are just going to be grinding into the shore, which is what you don't want to see. Yeah,
and all of the bad stuff is on the east side of the storm. So we're going to get a lot of squally weather and heavy rain today. I was explaining that the problem is the outflow, is the water that, if we get a lot of rain and that rain can't escape through the river mouths, then we get street flooding and home flooding here in Port Richey. So there you go.
I have to send this to you. Babs just sent me something.
Okay.
That I would love to see on the show.
You turned sideways again. And froze.
Sorry. I'll fix it. Am I not in here anymore?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Sorry. I just went to Messenger and that got all weird. Anyway,
okay.
You might have a little present in your Messenger.
Let's see. I got to open another tab for that, or I kill the show chat thing stuff.
Coffee's good.
Yeah. That's worth a share. Oh, I got to put it in the other window. Yeah. Rudy Giuliani getting ready for his press conference at the Ritz Isle at Winn-Dixie. Hey, seriously though, he's going to fight this all the way to the Supreme Courtyard by Marriott.
I saw that one. Can I be a bummer for a second?
Sure, because things aren't crazy enough.
Yeah. I love how funny this is. But I still think it's the American version of an oligarchic Russia. And we're still at that inflection point where we could totally end up being there. Because Trump's not out yet. He's not letting anyone quit. He's telling anyone that is looking for a job they're going to be fired if they look for a job. The Secretary of State is saying that it's going to be a second transition to a Trump administration.
Yeah, he said he was joking, right?
I don't give a fuck.
That's not a thing we fucking joke about, especially not our Secretary of State talking to the foreign press.
Like it's until he's gone. Like they're trying to figure out a way to just bluster their way into a second term. And calling everyone, all this stuff fraud or whatever, which is exactly what Putin does all the time, right?
Right.
And even if Biden gets in, it's still the same fight, right? Like 70% of Republicans think that voter fraud is a thing. So, and now granted, in the United States, we get to laugh at them without being murdered still, so far, for now. But I wonder if that's just the American flavor. Like, oh, all the lefties get to laugh about it while we take all the power and keep it for literally ever. Because the Republicans are just going on with it. Like, it's just the thing that they're doing now. Like anyway. Yeah, I am a huge fucking bummer, and I'm really fucking worried, and this definitely isn't over.
No.
And I hope I'm just wrong. I really do.
It would be foolish to underplay it.
Yeah.
At the same time, it appears that the state courts are having none of it. The federal courts are having none of it. The state elections boards are having none of it. Right?
So
he's taking a giant shit on Republicans that diligently work to keep our elections fair and safe.
This is true.
So
this is true.
If we're going to have recounts, guess who that's going to favor?
Yeah.
Let's recount everything while more ballots are being, sorted and counted. It's gonna work for Trump. I agree. This is a scary moment, but I think it's a moment.
Yeah, I think it's still the most likely that you're right.
Yeah, it's a fascist coup, said Chet, but Dave Myers, it's an attempted coup. That's the fact. It's not a fait accompli, right? So,
right.
Yeah, and replacing people at the Pentagon, right? But he's not replacing the people with guns at the Pentagon, right? So, the Joint Chiefs of Staff is still a thing. And they are very clear on not getting involved in this and not involving U.S. troops in this. And the guy that Esper that just he had written a resignation letter but was fired. One of the reasons was when Trump asked him to deploy U.S. troops on American soil during the summer, he said no. And that's what we count on. And even if he said yes, I don't have any sense that the generals on the Joint Chiefs of Staff would agree with that call. I don't think they would do that.
They put them on the streets of D.C.
No, those were federalized National Guard troops.
That's true. My apologies. Nope, you're totally right. Thing.
Right now, we're not talking about Apaches and M1 Abrams tanks on the streets of America, right? Even though they have those things, we're talking about.
They wouldn't even give them a parade.
Right. So I feel like this is a truly dangerous moment, and we're very lucky. This is an incompetent buffoon of a fascist, right? And the next one won't be. In some ways, we got very lucky that Hitler had the same kind of delusional sense of his own grandeur and power. So,
not where I'm afraid of it.
Yeah, Dave, he's taking a giant shit on democracy as a whole. True, that's been ongoing. But now he's attacking the people in his own party, the people that have supported him in the past, that for whatever reason see the Republican brand as viable. He's attacking them for doing their jobs correctly, including our local election supervisor, who is a Republican that does a really fair job. So I'm sure that those and half the people that work in those counting centers are probably Republicans. Statistically, it's a pretty good mix of people that work in elections. So
like there's a person within 100 yards, so the early week has started. Road, leave it alone, buddy. Nerd.
Yep, I like that, Dave. Can we make a deal with him that we will 100% recount all of the votes? Then, when you lose again, we will forcefully remove you and use your giant orange fucking head to open the door. Maybe a tase.
If tase, then yes.
Yeah. Kathy Brinkman, Republicans are going to implode internally because of this? I don't think so. They're doubling down.
Yeah, no, I think that's the real, like, in a universe that still obeyed the laws of physics and reason, Kathy Brinkman would be entirely right. But we've seen so many bits of evidence now that no, they're just going to become the party that just quadruples down on oligarchy and tries to become Putin's Russia. Like, that's the end goal here. Right? You just take every bit of power and finish taking all the power, and then you're done.
Right. Yeah. Deb's asking, where are you, Corey? He's in my driveway. He's downstairs in my driveway. So I can't even go visit him because I'm up here on the air. So that's how that goes. Yeah, there you go, Sandra Reed. And we will celebrate all over again. Speaking of celebrating, it is Virginia Rupert's birthday and it is Sue Fletcher Gentry's birthday. So happy birthday! We got you a whole ass hurricane.
Yep. Not even bits of it.
The thoughtful gift. I know your gift blows. Haha. It blows, Corey, because it's a hurricane.
Yeah. Hurricanes blow. I get it.
So I've been a little dipped out of the national news for the last day or two, and so I'm getting the gist that there's court challenges that keep getting batted aside. I also saw yesterday, interesting, when they were having the oral arguments about repealing the ACA. The Supreme Court wasn't having it, and funny enough, Kavanaugh was not. He asked a lot of very hard and pointed questions. Now he could do that and then vote to repeal it anywhere, turn it over anyway. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting thing to me to see him sound like he wasn't happy with the suit, basically overturning the whole thing because of one part that Republicans don't like. So what you're saying is we should fix it. That's not our job, which I found a very interesting point of view from an activist Supreme Court judge. So we'll see what's going on. We'll see what's going on. Kathy Brinkman,
encouraging for sure.
I want to ask how you're doing up there. She's on First Isle in Hudson, not on the water but adjacent. So I hope you're getting prepared. Yeah. What is that true? I didn't follow it. Elizabeth is saying Clarence Thomas wanted to talk about mask mandates during oral arguments about the ACA.
Yeah. Clarence Thomas is a joke.
Who takes a lot of money from corporate interests?
As a
sits on
judge,
Supreme Court.
A Supreme Court judge.
Yeah,
it's brutal. By the way, just so I'm in the spot you used to be in, Greg. I can't see any of the comments, so thank you for reading them out.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Robert said flat out that the GOP wants the court to make the decision, and that is not their job. Boom. I agree with you, Elizabeth, saying I don't want Biden to be bipartisan. Yeah, I listened to the guys from Pod Save America yesterday, and their consensus view is he should not be afraid of McConnell not approving his cabinet picks. He should pick who he wants. And if they say no, he should say, "Oh, well, acting secretary of whatever is good enough for your guy." So that's how we'll roll.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I'm completely on board with not playing nice anymore. And if they want to start saying, "Okay, well, then we have to make this a law." Okay, well, as long as that law is going to apply to both, then we can discuss it. In the interim, Sacha Baron Cohen is going to be the Minister of the Interior. You fuck.
I'm absolutely sure. I'm 100% sure he's going to pick a Republican for his cabinet, and it'll probably be something like transportation or something where you can't do any harm.
Put Kasich, on HUD or something. Who gives a shit?
Right. I heard an interesting line of thinking yesterday about what Pete Buttigieg wants is ambassador to the United Nations. Right? There's also an inside policy person, a woman in Joe Biden's policy think tank that also wants that. So I'm not sure what happens there. The gist of this was that Kamala Harris might not be happy about a potential 2024 rival, having a lot of power and public face in the cabinet. I think they're not going to worry about that at all. I think that's a non-starter. That's the media talking.
She might. Biden won't.
Right.
We'll see. Especially if they actually get into the White House. That'll be good.
I mean, Pete speaks seven languages.
Yeah.
Why would you not make him Secretary of State?
Right. Going from John fucking Bolton to Pete Buttigieg is the perfect embodiment of everything I want to see in American politics writ large. Like that would be good. That would be good. Like really good.
Yeah. Maria Richardson makes the point that McConnell cares only about his own power. He will toe Donald's line so he can get butts to the polls in Georgia. His political power depends on the outcome of these two runoff elections. So if you have not yet volunteered for either the Warnock or Ossoff campaigns in Georgia, you should do so. Start sending play cards, making phone calls.
100%.
I mean, if we win both of those runoffs, McConnell is not the head of the Senate anymore. He's done. He's not the majority leader. He will still have some formidable power, but all the committees then swing to whoever the Senate majority leader is.
whiny crybaby in chief and have exactly as much power.
Yep.
See as example Chuck Schumer for the last 4 years.
Pete Buttigieg,
Sadly.
Pete Buttigieg, geez, will be ambassador to South Bend, Indiana. If you don't think we need an ambassador to South Bend, I've lived there. We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, South Bend and other third world countries.
Yeah, exactly. Whew, that's some shit.
Yep, there you go, Ginny. Stacey Abrams says donate, dinate. I think she meant donate 4 times there, but yeah, that'd be good.
Dine is maybe like create a democratic dynasty in Georgia that lasts for 1,000 years.
That'd be good. So the parlay thing is going really well.
That Chiron has to be fake, right?
Which one? Oh yeah,
the one from CNN or Fox News. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just for anyone who doesn't know the inside baseball stuff, I think it was Dave Myers. Somebody shared us this Fox News Chiron that said that what's it say? Soros is the majority shareholder of Parler, which is like epic trolling. Epic trolling.
Is there any chance Yang gets the cabinet post? Yeah, I think so. Especially since he and his wife are now moving to Georgia to spend the next several weeks cranking out votes for the 2 Senate runoffs. I think he's definitely sealed. I don't know where they put him. I would be surprised if it was like a top tier cabinet post, but I'm sure he'll be in there. I'd like to at least see him on the president's economic advisory staff. I think that'd be a good fit. So. Yeah, that site is barely functional, Chet. So Chet's got a troll account at Parlay. Here's the thing about this: they had to issue what I guess one of the main admins had to issue a notice to all users that in an argument on Parlay, here's some things that are not okay. Threatening to kill who you're arguing with, not okay. Posting a picture of your own feces in a thread, not okay. So it's going really well over there. It's going exactly. Like we thought it might go. Yeah. It's the most snowflake shit ever. I'm censoring me on Facebook because start your own far right-wing neo-Nazi circle jerk. So that's what they've done.
Yep. I mean, it's it's the balkanization of media. They aren't allowed to lie on Twitter, so we kick them off.
My shit is free speech. It is now. Actually, no, they're censoring you too if you can't post your own shit on Parlay.
Yeah. What's even the point? No. I mean, I hear 4chan anything goes. So.
Wait, I can't post pictures of my own poop? Well, I guess I'm deleting that account. What the fuck? That's a good question. Elizabeth said, can you post a picture of someone else's feces?
That's a very valid point. And could you post a picture of Ted Cruz and say, oops, I just shat this out?
Who would know the difference if you didn't say?
Right, exactly. It looks exactly like my poop.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing Sandra Reed brings up. Did you see that if anyone chooses to sue over content, the platform assumes no ownership of your content, so it will follow the person who posted it?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, that's the same legal quandary that that Twitter and Facebook and others should be. I mean, and honestly, Twitter obviously is worried about it. Because they could absolutely get sued for the president tweeting illegal shit and causing actual harm because they promoted it. It's effectively on the front page of their newspaper. So,
right. Virginia reminds us you have to submit your photo ID and other information to be able to use the chat feature. So, good luck. You've just set yourself up for identity theft.
Yeah, their server's for sure accurate.
Oh, hey, and we learned yesterday that the Pennsylvania poll worker who came forward and said that he saw massive voter fraud happening, guess who convinced him to do that? Project Veritas. The same people that brought you video of people selling baby parts from abortion clinics and have now been arrested for fraudulent activity. So, yeah. There you go, Fred. How do they know if it's my shit or somebody else's? I don't normally sign my dumps. Wait, no?
Wait, you
Is
don't?
that's just me? Yeah, Diane.
Greg.
Diane Kimball. I'm troubled by screenshots I've seen. Let's not have amnesia. Pay attention. These aren't red flags. They're neon signs. Yeah, I saw a post that was a screen cap yesterday of a guy saying what we all need to do is kill 2 liberals. We solve all the world's problems, and we just all of us kill 2 liberals. Yep, that's what's going on that platform. I think they forget that we A, outnumber them, and B, know how to use guns.
Oh, and that there's a law against Chex Notes murder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's like they don't remember history at all, or they the Nazis really they had it right. We should not have fought against them. Is basically their take.
Yep, it is. And Corielco, that's some cool local stuff right there. I'm 90% sure I found one of those Turpentine towns out in the Shady Hills and the railway path from Hudson to Mazark Town. Turpentine used to be a thing where they would cut the trees like they do maple trees and get the sap and then boil it down for turpentine for fixing ships. So you drive cloth soaked in turpentine into the gaps in ships, wooden ships to keep the worms from eating them. And they used to send this stuff out by train to the Gulf. And there were several little local camps that did that work. And Corey says he thinks he found one out in Shady Hills. Would not surprise me at all. Yeah, that area.
You fuck.
That area right there at Little and 5A, where the old 5A camp in town was. There's still some old railroad parts back there in the woods behind that apartment complex between there and Beaconwood. So that's pretty cool.
I have the windows cranked open so they can glory in being semi-outside. And of course it's raining, and I just got all of the dog wet in my face.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
Anyway,
Virginia says that Arkansas sheriff that threatened to shoot people in the head on Parler is resigning. Cool. Now he'll be a private citizen. Great.
Yeah. Well, it's. Could we maybe flip the script on the whole social media thing a little bit? That at least because Parler is making it so you can't have fake accounts. Good on them. It means that we see what you do and we will make you quit your job if you threaten to murder people.
Oh, I'm sure that place is overrun with NSA and FBI people at this point.
Well, and hopefully a lot of Corielco, Chet's, and Dave Myers is
mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it because my blood pressure is high enough, but I love everyone who is signing on to troll. And really, we got to get K-Town into this, man. We got to get the K-pop stands in Parler to just fuck that place up hard.
But nothing but Smurfs for 3 straight days.
Yes. What does this mean? I don't know. Fuck you, Parler.
Donna, I'm willing to bet 90% never graduated high school. The 10% who did cheated. Nope. I hate to disabuse you of that notion, but a lot of the people that espouse these ideas are more educated than you would like to think. Are there a bunch of guys that never paid attention in history class in this, giant Venn diagram? Yeah. There's also a lot of college-educated shitheads that are participating in the same thing.
It's real, and I've been seeing it far too up close in a specific example, and there's something else going on, and I do think that of those people, they definitely don't have a memory for history, or don't care, or it's just the power over is so intoxicating, and such a way of life that none of it matters.
Right. For men who are steeped in a power over culture, as most men in our country have been, they feel like they either have to have power over or be victimized by. Those are the only 2 platforms that they see, and they will always choose the power over platform, right? It's inaccurate. That's not the way the world works. That's too binary. There are other, as we've been talking about, other ways to express power, but they don't see that. And if they got to pick a platform that makes them comfortable, it's going to be the platform where they get to take other people's power and very lives away, and that's a scary place. Also, I don't think that they're too dumb to remember the lessons of history. I think that they are banking American exceptionalism. Like we would never put 6 million people in ovens, right? They're basically saying we're somehow different and not susceptible to fascism in the same way Germany and Spain and Italy and Japan were. I think that's a mistake. I think everything we've seen so far in the last 5 years has shown us that instinct is absolutely there. And I used to spend a lot of time wondering how the German people, who were industrialized and better educated than most of the rest of the world, could have fallen for Hitler. I don't wonder that anymore. I can see exactly how it happens. Having someone to scapegoat so you don't have to admit that there's things you have to fix or work that you have to do, that's a pretty appealing worldview. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Did I miss you saying what a Turpentine Town is? Yeah, we have a lot of pine, natural pine, pinelands here in Central Florida and North Florida, and basically they would cut diagonal marks into the pine trees and collect the sap in little clay pots and then boil the sap down to make turpentine for shipping. And there were little camps and towns all over this part of Florida that did that. Unfortunately, they have a real dark tie to Jim Crow. And in the South, when I was a kid, and I'm not that old, I'm 56 this year. My grandma, whenever I went to visit her, this is my Southern grandmother, she would always put $5 in my wallet, because in her childhood, if you were hitchhiking or on the road and you didn't have money in your pocket, you were a vagrant, and they would pick you up and send you to a work camp, for 30 days. And sheriffs in Florida got a bounty for taking people to those turpentine camps, and you then became sort of an indentured servant. If you tried to leave, any sheriff could pick you up and take you back to the camps and get a reward. So walking the roads in Florida, particularly if you were black or Indian or poor, it was a very dangerous thing. And turpentine camps were often, that's how they got their employees. You remember the song 16 Tons of, and what do you get? I owe my soul to the company store. They would charge you for your bed. They would charge you for everything you needed. And it always turned out to be more than you had made working. And so they would just keep you in these turpentine camps forever. If you walked away from one with no money, the sheriff would scoop you up and take you back and collect a reward. So that has a real dark tie to Jim Crow.
They have a word for that.
Slavery. Yep.
Weird.
Yep. Tennessee.
It's almost like when the Roman Empire turned into what was it? Oh yeah, the Catholic Church, in exactly the same way.
Yep.
Ronnie's face. Hey, buddy.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you, Elizabeth. Thank you for the lesson. I love your Florida history story. 16 Tons was one of my dad's favorite songs. Well, we don't have coal in Florida, but I meant that as an example of that line about I owe my soul to the company store means you're in a job you can never get out of. And that's the same way that turpentine, and also migrant farm workers in Florida harvesting tomatoes and sugarcane. That's how they keep those places. Okay.
I think you should do a test episode with a design to do like 8 to 10 episodes of a Florida history podcast and rope Jenner into doing soundscaping with you on it, because I know you're good at that as well, and do like Radio Lab level production quality and just fucking throw it out there.
I think you're probably right.
You would dig it. We send that to the Florida Department of Tourism and other,
right.
You would dig it.
There's that's one of 3 projects that are on my list of things to do right now. So it's something I'm working on. Okay, I just got an emergency alert on my cellular device that says National Weather Service, and a storm surge warning is in effect for this area for the danger of life-threatening flooding. This warning is issued up to 36 hours before hazardous conditions begin. Urgently complete efforts to protect life and property. Follow evacuation orders if given for this area to avoid drowning or being cut off from emergency services. So that's down to my zip code in Port Richey. Kathy Brinkman in the thread says she got one also. So and it will be much less than 36 hours. We have the potential to start having flooding issues tonight, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So if you live on or near the coast, you need to be thinking about how the route out of your neighborhood. Does it ever flood? If it ever floods, it will flood today. We haven't had the massive rainfall that would give us a spectacular problem. But if your neighborhood tends to flood, maybe time to think about it.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet it's not going to stop raining now, and it's not raining hardcore, but it's raining enough that my dog's entire head is soaked.
Yeah,
like hilariously soaked. He's having way too much fun with this. I'm not gonna lie. Brian, what are you doing there, buddy?
That. I would love to ask Carl Hyacin for an interview. Yeah, that would be pretty spectacular.
Don't shake your head on me, okay?
Yeah, I want to show this again, just see where we are. Yeah, that's a lot of rain.
Oh, hey, I just got one too.
Yeah, is that over your phone? I can hear it. Yeah.
With my phone.
Donna's phone's going off too.
2 of them.
Hey.
Both of them.
Yeah, what an exciting day this is turning out to be. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Here's something interesting as an aside. 2 asides that are of lighter note. 3. 1, watch Schitt's Creek if you haven't. We actually just started watching it again, and it's like a warm blanket for your brain and heart. It's adorable. Anyway, so that's a thing. Second thing, Babs went to get her hair did today.
Yes.
From like this at home, whatever, blah, 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 that whole thing. Turns out she's an artist who just started getting into NFTs to back up her art, and had like 18 million questions. And of course, my wife was like, "Oh, my husband's dropping the second music and NFT in the history of the world on Saturday." So that was kind of amazing and ridiculous. So that's fun. And 3, SN8 finished its first static test, and the 15-kilometer hop, if you can call it a hop, more like jump and belly flop, could be coming within a week.
Nice.
Yeah, I still like the way they're planning on landing that thing. It's gonna blow up. Like I can't picture it. Was it Kerbal? That's the piece of software that you use to like build rockets.
Yes.
So I know they have a version of Kerbal, which is like a physics engine that's very good. You can architect these things and mess around with it. That transfers really well to the actual physics of the constructed thing in in Earth 1 or whatever, which is really cool. So we know that they've been training the AI on this thing in Kerbal probably hundreds of thousands of flights, if not millions, right?
Right.
So they've done the flight that they're going to do with this physical thing. They've done probably a million times, no bullshit, in simulations, right? And it works whatever percentage of the time that it works. But like, I can't see it. I just can't see it. I can't see it. But I hope I'm wrong.
Second man launch Saturday.
What? Oh, that's Falcon 9 though.
Yeah, I'm just excited.
Yeah. The Dragon capsule.
Launching 4 people this time.
Yep, that's how many seats it's got.
Yep, that's cool. Kathy Brinkman, I'm out, going to start getting ready. Be safe out there. Will you be updating today, Greg? Probably. I got a lot of running around to do, but I'll probably jump back on at some point. Where to look for weather updates? Listen, wow, that's loud. There we go.
Oh, sorry. Was that me?
All right. Yeah. Let me. I'm going to pull up. Sorry, Kathy. I'm pulling up a link for you guys. This is a website that I use all the time. It's run by my friend Jay Weiss. He is a South Louisiana guy, survivor of Hurricane Katrina, and he put together a set of weather links. And tropicwx.com is the site. There's a ton of graphics on the page, and also there's links out to the Hurricane Center and other amazing things. So that's what that page looks like. You can see that it's just a whole lot of swirlies and other good information. TropicWX is where I go. And if you like the site and you use it often, throw Jay Weiss a little bit of money because he pays for it out of his own pocket. This image here is interesting. You can see that what they're showing now is Ida as a hurricane, not as a tropical storm. That's what this filled-in circle means. That's a more severe thing. So Ida is a hurricane. Also, look down there. There's another potential developing system down in the Caribbean, even as we speak. And it is, checks watch, mid-November. So that's awesome. All right, well, you ready to wrap up and get out of here, go hang out with your family?
Yeah, I probably should. But I'll be up for updates too. I brought my computer, so I can set up and actually do
Right.
shows later if we want to do stuff. I'm gonna need, and maybe we should crowdsource it. So somebody could find a moose hat with moose antlers. I've
You've
lost
your
mine,
moose hat.
and I need a
So
moose hat
disappointing.
to be the on-site weatherman outside. That because reasons.
Right.
Considering storms will just, for the rest of our lives, just get more ubiquitous. So not having one is unacceptable. Rody, you seem really happy.
So adorable. He's so adorable.
Hi. Oh, hello.
Kisses and bad breath.
Oh, hello, Brian. Was I giving someone else attention? You.
Hurricane season,
Okay.
Fred. Hurricane season officially runs from June 1st to December 1st. This is like for us. This is the time of year when our part of Florida is most likely to get a storm because they're not the big Atlantic ones that sweep along the recurve back out and hit the East Coast. But we've seen them as early as April and as late as mid-December. The latest landfalling hurricane in Florida was in like 1962, and it was late November. It was after Thanksgiving, so it's not at all out of the realm of possibility to get hurricanes this late. But they are more frequent. They're stronger. Even lower category storms are causing more problems, and that is absolutely a function of global climate change. There's no question in my mind that that's what is happening. So I will do my best to get on later. I'm supposed to do some counseling stuff tonight. I may cancel that to make sure that we can get everything done we need to do to go be safe. We'll likely be rolling out of here this early evening, so maybe I'll do an update once we're over at Mishi's house and camped out. All right.
Okay.
That's it. We love you guys very much, and Sasquatch is real.
Boom.